And just recently, for instance, we had one that came in several $1,000s higher over the list price. However, as you dig a little deeper in, the terms had more contingencies on them. There were more risk in play. There was financing that wasn't quite as qualified as others. A little bit loan amounts can play into, am I waiting for somebody to get a 95% loan? We had one offer that came in on a jumbo type house where they had put into the offer that the buyer, it was contingent on the buyer getting a loan up to 95%. Well, there's not really a lot of products out there that would match that. So then that's an out for that buyer. So little things like that consumers don't even know, little caveats,
little trickery.
you know. So another thing is to consider is pre-qualifications and pre-approvals. So again, going back on experience, last week had 2 offers come in, both of which looked to be okay on the surface. As you dig in, you realize that their pre-approval letter was actually a pre-qualification letter, which there's a big difference because one involves underwriting, one does not. So this pre-qualification letter, as we dug deeper into it, had all kinds of, well, we'll give them a loan, but first of all, they haven't even applied yet. Second of all, we haven't verified anything, and then we're going to need this, this, and this. And so when talking to the loan officer, we found out that, would they be qualified right now based on the information they have? No, they absolutely would not be, and they might not even be able to be qualified until sometime next year. So had we not pressed into those type situations on the contract and just took surface information, we could have locked that seller up to have a deal fall through 2 months later.
And so and then you take the house off the market and it's a whole nightmare. Then you got to start all over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Closings make a difference. Here's another example. Know who the buyer is. So, for example, we had multiple listings or multiple offers last week. One of the agents calls me and in conversation lets me know that the buyers had not even viewed the house yet, but they're wanting to bump another buyer off of an offer and go with theirs when the agent flat out said, oh, my people are out of town. They've not even seen the house. They're relying on me. They're going to come in next week and look at it. Now, had I not had conversations with this agent and I just looked at an offer, not asked questions, we might have taken an offer that could fall through next week when the buyer walks in and goes, really isn't what the pictures look like.
Right.
Let's cancel the contract.
Right.
So
for an extra $1,000, is that really the smart thing to do?
Absolutely. Don't fall in the buyer letters. If you're a buyer, write a buyer letter. If you're a seller, don't get caught up in the emotions of the buyer letter.
Yes.
So again, you're looking at different things and you're getting sucked in by we want to raise our family in a beautiful house and
my
be just like
grandparents
you.
used to live here.
Yes.
Yeah, but you tell me to
works.
write that letter.
I'm saying if I'm working for you as the buyer, it works. But working for you as the seller, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't show you this letter until we figure out what's going on. And then again, look at earnest money, look at inclusions. Are they asking for a bunch of silly stuff? The most, when you're choosing between multiple offers, the best contract you can take is the least amount of contingencies, the shortest amount of time frames, and you are in the driver's seat as the seller to make some counter offers that stack things in your favor.
What do you tell somebody who is selling a house and gets a full price offer the first weekend and accepts it? Was the house price too low?
No, not in this market, because typically what we have been seeing, although we're not seeing everybody racing and giving full price offers right now as often, but coming out of what we just came out of, if a house was priced too low, it would sell for higher than the list price.
Okay.
So it's really kind of level market value. And if you priced it too high, then you don't get the multiple offers. So it actually started to become a better strategy when things were super hot to come in at the lower side of things so that you bring more interest to the table. And then everybody else would bid it up to the max that the market would bear.
So if you got a full price offer on a house, consider yourself lucky and you priced it right.
Absolutely. And they're not expecting all this type of offers by spring of next year. So expect home values to be balancing out. So now is your time this fall to still kind of get in on the tail end of this market before we start seeing some adjustments next year.
We can talk about that next week. 314-276-SOLD. You learned one thing, that every house Kathy Helbig had last week had multiple offers on it.
Yes, they did.
314-276-SOLD or KathyHelbigGroup.com.